It's time to prepare for the new tech tree vehicles coming into the game tomorrow. As of the recording of this vehicle, we've got some information to cover within this update news/info video on these wheeled light tanks, as well as the earn operation for the Barask, which you'll be able to get for free within World of Tanks coming soon, and a little bit of a review as to what you want to set the tank up like within the game. So, starting off, what do we have? Well, we have the Panhard AMD 178B, and Wargaming have given us kind of some of the statistics for the higher tier vehicles, not so much for the lower tier, the tier 6. This one comes off of the AMX ELC BIS, which you want to make sure that you have elited the AMX ELC BIS before the line releases. That will give the Panhard straight away to be able to purchase. So make sure that you've got the silver in your account. 895,000 silver is what you'll require to unlock this instantly. The tank doesn't have the rapid mode like you do with the higher tier vehicle, so it is pretty much the same as any kind of tank within the game, other than the fact it has wheels. And you'll be able to kind of drift with the new kind of physics that they've kind of brought in to World of Tanks console with this. So make sure that you do think about that when you're playing this tank. Make sure that you do try and use it okay. But to be honest with you, this vehicle on PC is not particularly overpowered or any real kind of... It's not going to be breaking the game at tier 6 at least. Then we have the Hotchkiss EBR, the tier 7. This obviously comes off of the Panhard AMD 178B and will cost you 1.4 million silver. This tank is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. Still doesn't have the ability to use the rapid mode where you can swap between the modes and gain increased speed like we've seen with the recent premium wheeled light tank that came into the game last week. This one still remains as normal, however does have the wheeled and the new physics, so you will be able to kind of twist and turn and do all of that sort of jazz within the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how the first two, given the fact that they don't have the rapid mode, will play within the game and whether or not they're actually any good. I can't see them being super overpowered, the first tier 6 and 7, but the tier 8 as of the Panhard AML Link 6x6 may just be. So, what's special about the Panhard AML Lynx 6x6? Well, it gets use of the rapid mode, obviously coming off of the Hotchkiss there that we've just talked about. And these are the statistics that Wargaming have released for the tank. And yeah, forward speed limit. What do we have? Well, 58 kilometers an hour in the cruise mode, 72 with the rapid mode, reverse speed limit 40 on the cruise and 50 on the rapid. So this thing is absolutely quick. This is one of the quickest vehicles in the game, even for a kind of a light tank that maybe is not necessarily the best tier for light tanks. You know, you don't really have too many super overpowered tier 8 tanks. I don't know how this is going to fare, but obviously we have the traverse speed of the wheeled light tanks within this. So this is what really makes the wheeled light tank super good within the game. Handling on console, not particularly as good as maybe on PC. They will be looking into actually making it so that as you move your thumbstick or joystick / analog over to the left, it kind of actually changes the speed at which you're turning, if that makes sense. So if you jam it right over to the left, you'll be able to get full lock. If you kind of only do it half of the time, it won't then suddenly start going as fast as possible with the traverse speed. So that's something I think will make it more controllable, especially if you're playing on the 30 FPS consoles. So they're looking into that at the minute. Don't know whether it will come out with the wheeled vehicles tomorrow though. So yeah, hopefully that does. If not, these may be a little bit of a pain to begin with. Forward speed limit, obviously we've talked about, hold traverse speed, and then we have the chassis 2. As you upgrade, will have 72 traverse speed, well, degrees a second, which means that you can do a full rotation in about 4 or 5 seconds, which is insane, especially if you then add in the fact that you can have like clutch braking and all of the perks that can increase this. Oh my word, these could be some of the most disgusting circling machines within the game. And this is only the tier 8, so it only gets better as we go through. Obviously, turret traverse speed 60 degrees with the cruise, so you're basically more accurate in the cruise mode, so that's something I want to kind of highlight to you guys. You've got all of the better statistics other than the fact that you can go faster in the rapid mode, hence why it's called rapid mode. So make sure that when you're in an engagement, you swap back to the cruise mode rather than the rapid mode, because you'll probably not hit as easily, so make sure that you're doing that. It only takes a couple of seconds, or maybe 1 second to actually swap between the modes, so make sure you do it in plenty of time before you come up against some of the opponents that you will be. Now, after grinding through the links, obviously then you lead on to the EBR90, which is where the tank line starts to become super good. And this of course will cost you the full price amount. However, we do have a couple of operations going on that we'll talk about in a minute. But this one obviously has the rapid mode again, as with the rest of the tank lines. And this will also give you access to the hated Panhard EBR10 Whether or not on console it's as hated as it is on PC, I don't know. But obviously leave your comments in the comment section down below, and make sure that you subscribe to keep up to date with all of the information and of course reviews on these tanks as I work my way through them as well. Now, forward top speed limit of the EBR90, well, we've got 78 kilometers max, 65 on the standard. They do have a limit as to the equipment that you can put on, so you can't put on both speed equipment. However, you can still get these up to like 88 kilometers an hour. Yeah, going to be super quick. And of course, then you have the whole traverse speed slightly goes down with this first chassis, which is kind of a bit annoying, I guess. But then as you get the second chassis and fully upgrade, you'll have 72 traverse speed and 40 degrees in the rapid mode. So yeah, disgusting. Max steering wheel angles, obviously in the cruise you have 33 degrees and on the rapid mode only 15 degrees, so you can't like turn your wheels like 90 degrees obviously, otherwise it'd snap off if you go in that fast. So that's kind of what Wargaming have tried to implement just as a balancing feature, I expect. And of course then you have the turret traverse as well at 66 and 59.4 respectively. So yeah, super quick. Obviously you can see the vehicle on screen, what it looks like, whether or not you like the look of it, and whether you're going to be trying to 3 mark these wheeled light tanks, I don't know. Panhard EBR. Now this is probably the one that everybody wants, and this is of course the tier 10. This one has of course rapid mode like the previous. However, this rapid mode on the EBR can go 85 kilometers an hour in the rapid mode. Now with the speed boost equipment as well, this is going to mean that this might possibly be the fastest vehicle in World War II on World of Tanks console. Now, how do you feel about the fact that this tank could potentially go 95 kilometers an hour within the game if you add on fuel and you add on the equipment that is available? Obviously, they both aren't available, otherwise you could probably get this up to 100 kilometers an hour, which you still may be able to do if you use the fuel and also the equipment as well combined. And yeah, I think that that's going to be pretty disgusting. And even the fact that the reverse speed of this tank is 62 kilometers an hour means that you can skirt out the way in this tank super quickly as well. So yeah, you may as well just reverse, to be honest with you, because you're just as fast as a lot of light tanks will be as well. So there we go, the EBR. Then of course we have the traverse speed of the first chassis, which is of course fully upgraded, because you can't upgrade a tier 10 at least unless you're playing in something like the E100, which has the multiple guns. But regardless of that, this is a full kitted out tank. You don't have to upgrade any packages once you actually get it. And of course here is the steering angle, same as the previous EBR90, and the traverse speed 66 and 59.4 respectively for the 2 modes. So yeah, I think that this tank is definitely going to be able to be used by some of the more skilled players. I don't think that the majority of maybe someone that hasn't played very much World of Tanks is going to be able to get to grips with these French wheeled vehicles, especially if they're playing on the older consoles, because of the FPS issues, where it doesn't feel as reactive and where it's not as responsive to be able to kind of change direction, etc., especially with the controls as well. So it's going to take a bit of getting used to use these to your 100% of your ability, but hopefully if you are interested in these vehicles, you get your hands on them, and you get your hands on them quickly to get up to date with how they'll play as soon as the update drops tomorrow. Or of course, if you're watching, you already know how they feel within the game. Now, talking about the challenges, like we mentioned earlier, we have them for France, which is essentially the For France operations, where if you complete a game and you destroy 2 or more vehicles in any number of battles while playing any of the French-wheeled vehicles, you'll get a 25% silver bonus, and you must play with a vehicle from the new line. It's available for World War II only and multiplayer only, obviously. And then also, if you destroy one of the vehicles listed, so if you destroy another French-wheeled vehicle, you'll get 25% silver bonus. You don't have to play in any of these tanks, so if you take one out, you'll just get a 25% silver bonus for that game, which is really, really good. It's going to help you out massively if you're grinding through some of the premium tanks to just earn a bit of credits on World War II and you don't want to play Cold War, then it will be a benefit. And not only that, if you do decide to play these French wheel vehicles you assist with 50,000 or more damage, you will get 1 million silver, 10 times 2 vehicle XP boosters, 10 times 4 commander XP boosters, 3 days of premium, and just the fact that you probably are going to be one of the top players, or at least most played players, playing these new vehicles within the game. So hopefully that's given you a little insight as to what you can expect with the new French wheel vehicles before they come into the game. Well, the day before they come into the game, and the latest information. And of course, when they do finally get dropped tomorrow, I will do a video the following day showcasing what the tech tree lines are like within the game, how I feel they've impacted the game. And of course, if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure to subscribe and put the notifications on so that will kind of update you as soon as possible. Now, we talked about the Barask operation as well. So this is something that Wargaming have released as part of their anniversary Earn Challenge, which will give you the Barask, which was released last year. And hopefully, for those of you who are interested in getting that tank, the review coming soon / tomorrow will be able to kind of showcase what the tank can do and why you really want to focus on this Earn Challenge, maybe more so than just trying to complete the Type 59-2 Earn operation, because the Barask is one of my favourite tanks within the game and it has so many different things that you can do with it, and hopefully you will enjoy that. Along with that, obviously, a reminder that String Theory will be released tomorrow. Tier 10 Double Silver Week will also be going on. Cosmetics at 50% off. Premium Commander at 25% off. Big booster bundles as well that we'll cover in the update news as well. And tanks available for free XP, including all of these tanks right here. So you can check those out. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope this little kind of info video on the new French wheeled light tanks and what Wargaming have released today will showcase what they're going to be like tomorrow. So other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic rest of your week. And I hope you join me back tomorrow for the Barask review.